Duelist Kingdom jump-started the Yu-Gi-Oh anime with a bang. Sure, no direct attacks and only one monster being able to attack per turn meant duels were a little slower than we're used to now, and they played loose with the rules. Really loose. But I'm sure we all remember the awesome monsters, climactic moments, shadow games, and all the surprising twists and turns that the season was filled with. You also probably remember a few awesome cards from Duelist Kingdom that sadly aren't printed in the trading card game we love so much. We've looked at 10 of these already, but there was plenty of awesome cards we just couldn't get to. So join Blue and myself while we travel back to Pegasus Island one more time to look at 10 Duelist Kingdom cards not printed in the TCG. Number 10, Tori. This is one of the last of Yugi's cards from Duelist Kingdom that we don't have. Yugi first placed Tori against Kaiba in the very first episode, and then against Weevil in their first duel on the island. Tori sits at just 1200 attack and an even lower 600 defense. The card's flavor text reads, although a poor defender, this monster's sharp horn gives it an edge when attacking. So at least they acknowledge the card's defense is lackluster. And ironically, despite the card itself advertising it's a poor defender, in both of Yugi's duels where we see this card, he simply sets it in defense position. So much for that horn giving Tori an edge when attacking. And fun fact, this card was printed in the OCG very early on in a pack alongside other cards that have yet to be printed in the TCG, like Cyber Commander and Horn Imp. Let's hope Konami hasn't totally forgotten about them.
Number 9, Defense Paralysis. While this card bears a striking resemblance to Stop Defense, and by striking resemblance, we mean it is literally the same picture, it does seem to be a separate card. Stop Defense was a spell card that let you change one monster into attack position. We see that in Joey's duel against Keith. In contrast, Defense Paralysis was a trap that was activated when your opponent put a monster in defense and it forced all your opponent's defense position monsters into attack mode. You remember Ghost Kaiba, that evil side of Kaiba, or Pegasus' hired eliminator, depending on which version of the anime you're watching. While using Kaiba's stolen deck, we see him use this trap when Yugi played Curse of Dragon in defense mode. Since Defense Paralysis stayed on the field for the whole duel, it's similar to the TCG version of Final Attack Orders. But we would still love to have this card printed. We're guessing it would need a power level of its effect boosted a bit, and to get an artwork that's at least a little bit different from Stop Defense.
Number 8, Glassman. The renowned Glassman, a card that every fan of the anime surely remembers. A critical piece of Joey's strategy. All kidding aside, this card is a real sleeper pick, but it is the last card of Joey's from Duelist Kingdom that we don't have printed. Since it was just offered up to help Joey stall against Bones, we don't know its attack, defense, level, or even attribute or type. This is a total wild card, but we'd love to get it for completion's sake and to see what Konami could do with it.
Number 7, Judgment Blaster. While we didn't see this during the actual Duelist Kingdom tournament, it was played during the first season by Rebecca. This spell has the very powerful effect of destroying all monsters on the field. Sound like Dark Hole to anyone? But that effect does come at a bit of a cost, which is discarding 5 cards from your hand. Okay, admittedly, it is a steep cost, a very steep cost. But we would love to have an iconic card of Rebecca's printed. Since we doubt Konami would print what is candidly a weaker, worse version of an existing card, we're guessing there would be an additional effect added. And if you're worried you'll be missing some of our other awesome content as badly as we're missing all these TCG cards, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Number 6, Great White Terror. In Duelist Kingdom, Mako's absolutely devious strategy was to hide his denizens of the deep in the ocean, where Yugi couldn't even see what he was attacking. Great White Terror ended up being the last monster Mako summoned against Yugi. While it bears a strong resemblance to Great White, which is a card we have printed, it has a different artwork, level, and in the manga it had just 1500 attack points. Since Mako only played 4 cards in Duelist Kingdom, it feels even more pressing to get this card someday.
Number 5, Level 2 Power Boost. This was one of the several equip spells that Weevil played to strengthen his insect monsters. Early in the first season, which is when we see both Weevil's duels, his penchant for strategy and having clever ways to win duels was really called out and emphasized. Now, level 2 power boost can only be equipped to an insect type monster, and Weevil chooses his basic insect in the duel against Yugi. And while Weevil doesn't exactly spell out how much this card boosts his insects by, it seems like after taking into account the field power boost and insect armor cannon, this gave basic insect 1200 extra attack points and 200 additional defense points.
Number 4, Kamakuraman. We're going back to back with Weevil's cards here. Kamakuraman is one of several insect monsters we see Weevil play in Duelist Kingdom. This man-shaped mantis, that's right from its flavor text, sits at just 1400 defense and 1150 attack. So it definitely benefited from the field power boost Weevil saw while playing Yugi. Unfortunately for Kamakuraman, Yugi used Mirror Force to reflect Weevil's attack back at him, and this bug was squashed. If we got level 2 power boost and this card, we would have every card Weevil played in Duelist Kingdom in the TCG, except for his trap Parasite Worm, which we talked about in that first video.
Number 3, Zanki. For those who may not remember, Bones' zombies in Duelist Kingdom weren't just your run-of-the-mill, out-of-the-box zombie-type monsters. Keith packed Bones' deck full of some extra muscle that wasn't undead, like Crawling Dragon, Crass Clown, and Zanki. Bones was even hesitant to play them until Keith, coaching Bones, demanded Bones follow his advice. Once Joey vanquished those 3 monsters, it was Call of the Haunted that reanimated them as Dragon Zombie, Clown Zombie, and Armored Zombie. And we've had both Crass Clown and Crawling Dragon in the TCG for ages now. We've even had the zombie version of Zanki since the very early days of the trading card game. So while this is another case of a normal monster with middling stats, just 1500 attack and 1700 defense, Zanki's TCG appearance is long overdue, like seriously overdue. And would you be surprised to learn that this card was also printed in the OCG very early on? We're noticing a trend here.
And number 2, Pillager. This was an absolute powerhouse of a spell that Bandit Keith used against Joey in their duel. It let Keith look at Joey's hand and take any card he wanted from there. Our machine-obsessed antagonist took a look at Joey's hand and stole, or you could even say pillaged, Sword and Shield from Joey. And interestingly, this card would probably actually get powered down a bit if it came to the TCG, unlike most cards that receive a boost. We have similar cards like Confiscation and the Forceful Sentry that let you simply discard or shuffle back a card from your opponent's hand. And both those cards are sitting on the Forbidden and Limited list. It's even better to steal the card. No matter what it would look like though, we're dying to get our hands on Pillager.
And finally, number 1, Living Arrow. We saw Yugi use this card several times in Duelist Kingdom and in some of the biggest moments of the entire season. Now, depending on where you fall on the matter, it's possible Spell Shattering Arrow is this card. Its effect is simply different in the anime from the TCG version. For us, looking at all the factors including its picture, effect, and other details, we can buy the argument that Living Arrow is its own distinct card. But no matter which side you fall on, this card was so iconic for Yugi that I think we can all agree we'd like some form of this card in the TCG that's closer to the anime. So, do you remember what it did? Like many cards in Duelist Kingdom, its effect wasn't exactly spelled out as clearly as most of the cards we would see in coming years. Roughly, it let you redirect a spell effect to one of your opponent's cards. This card debuts in quite a key moment that probably sticks in most fans' minds. Staring down Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon, Yugi uses Living Arrow to let his polymerization fuse Kaiba's Ultimate Dragon with the Mammoth Graveyard. By fusing Kaiba's monster with an undead monster, Yugi was able to drop Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon's attack by 1200 points every turn and take down Kaiba's biggest, baddest monster. Yugi also used Living Arrow against Pegasus to apply Pegasus's magical neutralizing force effect to destroy Pegasus's own Toon World. The only other time we see Yugi play Living Arrow is in the duel before Battle City where he's facing Bandit Keith who was possessed by Merrick. This card let Yugi redirect Keith's tribute to the Doom to his own monster. And if the effect of Living Arrow is ringing a bell with another card, that's probably because it's similar to Mystical Ref Panel, though Living Arrow's effect seems to be a bit broader. That's it for this voyage back to Duelist Kingdom. Thanks for joining us. What did you think of the 10 cards we chose? If we missed your favorite, it might be in our first video. You can give that a watch here. And if not, comment down below which card you think we missed.